Hello there, folks. Welcome to Sandy and Sunday. In fact, it's Sandy and Wendy and Sunday. And it's not only that, it's Sandy and Sunday in Stockport with Wendy and various other woodland creatures. Well, look, here we are. We didn't know where we were going to end up today, actually. We just literally ended up in Stockport.
In a drug den.
In the drug den, yes. And yes, well, I won't tell you about some of the paraphernalia that we found here, but it was previously a cushion sitting on this bench, but we decided not to use it because it was a little bit damp. We're just playing it safe, so we removed the cushion. But anyway, this is just a random bench down the bottom of a random cobbled lane, which has some very nice houses on it, but we thought we might not, which we thought initially would be a good background, but we thought that people might get annoyed at us and come out and throw pans and vegetables, so we thought we'd move a little bit further down the lane. We found this little woody glade, a little dell, which is perfect apart from all the drugs paraphernalia. Anyway, that's life in modern Britain. Here we are in modern Britain, in sunny Stockport. It's a little bit overcast anyway. On our way up from a gig last night, not just a gig, the gig of the year, the gig of the last 2 years in Shropshire and Bishop's Castle. It was a great success in that we started it, we finished it, there was an audience and there was clapping, something we haven't heard for a long time. It was absolutely wonderful. Many thanks to Karen Mills who went through hell and high water to put that on for us. It was postponed 3 times from about a year ago, and finally it happened. Magic. Anyway, we literally pulled over because I was bursting for a pee about 10 minutes ago, and this is the nearest little town. So here we are. Wonderful. It's fate. It's fate. We're basically going to play you the set we did last night in case you missed it. You weren't in Bishop's Castle in Shropshire. This is mostly the set we do with Wendy when I'm playing.
So no pressure on me.
When I'm playing as part of the Wendy Weatherby band. So basically, it's an easy ride for me today.
Yeah, well, that's what you think.
Apart from I have to wear a duck's hat. There's always something, isn't there? You can never get the perfect gig. Yes, it would be the perfect gig if I didn't have to wear this blithering duck's hat. Anyway, this is from Wendy as well. Excellent. Who else would have had a duck's hat? Thank you, Wendy. Well done. Well done in your choice of sour cap. It is a sour cap actually. Look, totally waterproof.
So okay.
If it rains, I'm fine. By the way, I got this lovely matching T-shirt in the one charity shop in Bishop's Castle, which was tiny, but it had this yellow T-shirt for £1.50 bargain. So somebody better donate more than £1.50 today, otherwise I'm making a loss again. Okay, let's go for it. This is called the hybrid set. Do you want to tell us about this one?
Not really. Apart from no. The first one's a hybrid of 2 tunes. First half of one, second half of another. The second one's called Amelie, which is a Perthshire tune and a place in Perthshire. Third one's called The Haggis, and the last one's called Captain Roy.
Why are you pointing at me when you said The Haggis?
I don't know, it's Freudian.
I did have a very big quick breakfast, thanks, courtesy of Ian, Karen, the promoter's partner. This morning we were staying with them at the beautiful house just outside Bishop's Castle, and wow, what a lot of fried breakfast I ate, but there was no haggis in it. Can you get haggis down here?
They had black pudding from Perth though.
Imported from Perth. Imported it from Perth, right. Right,
shall we play a tune? Okay, here we go then.
Sorry, was that
Sandy,
too fast?
yes.
Sorry, I got carried away there.
You did get a wee bit carried. It's all that haggis. No, no haggis. All that black pudding.
If you thought I was winking at you there, nodding a few times, I wasn't. I was nodding to passers-by because this is a country lane leading up the hill to the houses that I was telling you about. Actually, the houses apparently are bleachers' houses for the bleaching factory. It used to be,
It used to be down there, we're told.
It was down there, you can't see it. Well, wait a minute, I'll turn it around. Down there, there's some more unsuspecting people. There was a bleaching factory, and up here, where's an unsuspecting person coming down, it's little houses that you can't see, but never mind, they're very nice houses, and they're full of bleachers. People that used to be bleachers.
And you might get done for bleach of the piece.
Oh, very good, Wendy, very good. Yes, we only found that out because the guy stopped to bother us about a minute ago, just before we started, and it was like telling us the entire history of the place, unbidden. I was like, yeah, it's very interesting, mate, but can you clear off, please? We're trying to do a show here. He goes, you won't have very much joy busking here, because there are one or two passers-by, but not very many. I was like, we're not busking, mate. We're doing a professional show now. Just clear off. We're not interested in the history of this place. We're just having to stop here because I was bursting for a pee. Okay. Right.
Well, as we're in such a nice rural setting, I thought we'd do a nice rural song.
Alright, I don't know if you can see the dog there, but that's the effort we've gone to bring the dog. There's actually a real live dried dog turd behind it there, which is that's
Stinking.
awesome. It is stinking a bit actually. So yeah, that's the attention to detail we've paid to for this show.
So we're going to do a nice Burns song for you, we hope. Probably won't be as fast as the last one because I'm knackered already.
Sorry.
That's I'll let you. It's enthusiasm. Enthusiasm costs nothing, Sanders. This is Robert Burns'
Driving
lovely,
too fast.
That's it. Lovely slow air called The Lyric. When o'er the hill the eastern star tells Barton time is near, my joy, and eyes and frail furrowed feet return sae dull and weary, down by the banks what scented would you are hanging clear, would you? I'll meet beyond the lyric, my ain kind dear. At midnight in Marcus Glen, I drove an if through that way a gate to thee, my ain kind dear, although the next were ne'er sae wet, and I were ne'er sae weary, I'd be the hunter lures the morning sun, till rise the mountain deep, at noon the fisher tides the glen, adieu the band to steer my Joe, he be
lovely, Wendy. It's
Quite
beautiful.
strange looking round and seeing you with that hat on
Yeah.
when you're trying to do a big romantic.
Yeah, it's the ultimate distraction when you're on stage. Sandy Brechin on accordion, yeah. Never ever play with me if you're sensible. Most people don't. They play it safe. Well, that was super. We had some more passers-by there. Somebody turned up in the car as well. If you heard the little beep, that was another car lot. But hey, considering we've almost ended up in a lay-by or the hard shoulder of the motorway, the M6 with 4 lanes going past. This is actually quite good.
It's quite rural.
It's very rural. We've got some lovely bird song, maybe a little bit of wind noise. Sorry about that, folks. I didn't bring the outside camera attachment microphone for that one. I could have done that. And yes, and a faint whiff of dog turd. So we've got it all today.
Thank God people didn't bring their cows for a walk down
look,
here.
let's hope this rabbit doesn't deposit anything. This rabbit actually has a bum hole. Look, my hand's up it right now.
Oh, no one.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say the word bum hole on live TV. Apologise. No, you're quite right. Right. Well, this show's all about Wendy. So
It's not really.
Get on
I've
with
just
it.
been told this.
Get on with it.
Aye, we're going to do a set of jigs now.
I'm just having that.
I know you do that while I'm speaking. Cheeky monkey. Set of jigs that are all set in Edinburgh. It's called the Canongate Breeks set.
This is a monkey.
It's not a monkey, it's a lemur.
That's a monkey, isn't it?
I don't know, is it?
I don't know.
I don't know what it is. Anyway, it was a hat earlier on, but it's now decoration for a cello case. Anyway, Canongate Breeks is about ladies of the night of the Canongate in the 18th century, and if you visited one of those ladies and were unfortunate enough to visit the wrong one, you got a dose of Canongate Breeks. The second one's called Knox's Favourite, because I thought John Knox might not appreciate being right next to a tune about venereal disease. And the last one's called The Flea Pit, which commemorates a visit that my mum and dad had to the Salon Cinema in Edinburgh. And if you know the Salon, you'll know why the tune's called The Flea Pit.
What was that Karen was telling us about the ladies of the night who used to hang around at the back of the theatre? Which theatre?
Oh, that was
They used to
the
hang
Empire
around
Theatre, so the Festival
Edinburgh.
Theatre.
Ah, right.
And they
That's
had
down on.
they had a convention of mediums. Some of them were large mediums, some of them were small mediums. But anyway,
Wait a minute, there were some mediums as well.
there were some mediums. And they had a convention of mediums in the theatre. They asked if they could come in and find out, because the Ghost of the Great Lafayette's meant to be there, and various other people, stage hands that have died, horrible deaths, and all this sort of stuff.
Dead stage
But
hand. Live
but-
stage hand.
But the medium who seemed convinced that she was getting something from the theatre said, "I can smell cheap perfume," and they wondered what that was, and then Karen read that the ladies of the night from Leith used to hang about at the back of the Grand Circle waiting for the interval so that they could service the toffs. So there you go.
Beats waiting for your pre-ordered drink in the queue,
And
doesn't
your
it?
ice cream.
Yeah, you know what? That's the drink and ice cream. Okay.
Okay, shall we?
Yes.
Okay. 1, 2, 2, 3. serviced.
Ah, everybody well serviced out there. You're probably wondering why I've shrunk. It's not that I've shrunk, it's just I'm playing a giant accordion today. Well, it's not a giant accordion, it's a normal sized accordion. I just play little tiny ones normally.
Cello's shrunk, though, it keeps falling to this mulch.
Cello is a little tiddler. But yes, to compete with the sheer basic power of the cello, I have to play the bigger accordion. And actually, because a lot of the songs that Wendy sings are in
Stupid keys.
Unusual keys. I need a few more notes sometimes. And our cheese is wonderful. We had some lovely cheese last night.
Shropshire Blue, highly recommended.
Shropshire Blue. There was a Peter picked a pickled piece of Shropshire Blue. Yeah, there was a strange accidental little rhyme that somebody made up. Paul, nice chap that used to work at Sparcs Theatre, who was also visiting this weekend, and he accidentally made up a tongue twister. We can't remember what it was.
Something about Shropshire cheese.
Well,
if Paul's watching, can you please send it in?
Yes,
he's a nice
make up your own Shropshire tongue twister. But yeah, we've got lots of, you can't see them, there's lots of doggies,
nice dogs walking past.
Doggies walking up this path, which is probably why there's this funny smell around this place. But we're going to carry on now. Speaking of a funny smell, here's a nice smell, the smell of a red rose.
Oh, isn't that nice? That's good. I was going to say another rural idyll, but you've introduced it anyway, so let's just do it. Okay.
Well, you could probably say more about it. Was it really that
well,
red? You have to say the word red twice.
Do you remember the Ricky
rose?
Fulton sketch?
No.
When
I remember Ricky Fulton.
Yeah, and he was in the hospital bed and he's going, oh, we couldn't tell this BC. And then I said, it's all right, it's all right. Oh, my love is like a red rose.
I think I've guessed it.
Yeah, you guess what it is. And he says, where am I? I'm in intensive care. And I says, no, you're in the burns unit. But here's another one though. This man wakens up and he sees the doctors and nurses all around his bed, and they're dressed in sort of, well, the nurses are dressed like barmaids, you know, with the plumed things, you know, like sort of saloon girls.
Ostrich feather.
And the doctors are all wearing cowboy hats and all this sort of stuff. And he thinks he's hallucinating. He says, these drugs. He says, have I died? He says, am I in heaven? And the doctor says, no, you're in the Western.
Very good.
Right.
Okay, I'll take this one away.
You take this one away. Should we do that again?
Okay, let's do that again. Well, after an inauspicious start, that would have went very
That
well.
was very nice, Sandy. Well done. I still can't look at you with that hat on.
Well, things are just going completely quackers here.
Oh no! Duck off.
Well, I'm not going to be paying the bill for this show, or I'm going to be paying the bill for this show. Bill.
Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah.
Sorry, I was a bit slow there. That's terrible.
So we're gonna liven things up because folk music's dull. Let's face it. We need to bring in something foreign. How about
Curry.
a curry? Great. Let's order one right now.
Well, we're in the next neck of the mood.
Oh yeah,
the Midlands is good.
Manchester,
Yeah, it's good for a curry.
Well, I was thinking more of a tango, really.
Oh, another drink.
No. Oh, real tango.
Okie dokie. This is a wee tango that we usually do with the band, but Sandy and I were actually the very first people ever to play this. Ever. First performance with Sandy and I about 30 years ago or something.
There's an Edinburgh festival in
Teviot Road during the folk festival, and they put a whole load of different folk together that had never worked together before and said, right, put something together for this.
That's right. I was like, who's this Wendy Weatherby? What's this alliteration? That should be like Sandy Silly. No, I'm just Sandy Brechin. I was like, who is this with this fantastic alliterative name?
Sounds like a banjo player actually, but I can't help it. Anyway, so anyway, this was written for that. Well, it was written for Starfish Designs up at Ballywoolish actually, because I've got a Starfish electric cello, which looks like a cross between a pelvis and a wine rack, and it's lovely and it sounds great. I was never going to get an electric cello, but then I played this and I fell in love with it. So I thought anything that you fall in love with then is like a cross between a pelvis and a wine rack. The only kind of tune that you can really write for that is a tango. So this is the wee tango that came out of that, and it's called the Ballywoolish Tango. We hope with your knee.
whining at the end. Did you hear that?
Oh, what? Maybe the ghost dog that did
Maybe
the crap.
it was maybe the ghost of the dog in the crap. That was lovely. Well, hey, guess what? It's down to Wendy again. I'm just off for another pee in the wood. No, I'll stick around. We're going to do a right old raving tune by a right old raver fiddle player. It's always fiddle players. It's all about the fiddle, fiddly diddly. They love themselves, fiddle players. Neil Gow. Well, maybe he did love himself, maybe not, but he deserved it because he was actually quite a good one. But Neil Gow is from Edinburgh, near Perth, very near to where our black pudding this morning's breakfast came from. Lindsay's of Perth, by the way, small advert there. Maybe they could sponsor this one. Would you like to tell us more about it?
I would like to tell you more about it. This is one of Neil Gow, whoever he is, Neil Gow's most famous tunes. Everybody plays it at the Gow Festival. So if you've ever been to the Neil Gow Festival in Dunkeld, you'll probably know this one off by heart because it's not a concert goes by that somebody doesn't play it. And it's a shame because the Neil Gow Festival in Dunkeld, which is in March, or has been in March, up until COVID struck, was founded by fiddler Pete Clark, who I'm sure a lot of you know, in order to raise funds to erect a statue of Neil Gow in Dunkeld, or Burnham. This actually ends up in Burnham. And yes, the statue's there now, it's lovely. It's by the same sculptor that did the Robert Ferguson down at the Canongate, outside Canongate Kirk in Edinburgh. It's a lovely thing. But because we haven't had the festival, the poor old statue still hasn't been officially unveiled, so it's a bit of a shame.
But it is there.
It is there and it's lovely.
You can go and stick a traffic cone in its head if you
or
want.
put a kilt on it, somebody put a kilt
Oh,
on it
really?
when Scotland were
That's
playing, yeah, and all that sort of stuff. But well worth a visit to see the statue, and well worth a visit anyway. So if it goes ahead next March, you'll hear this tune quite a lot, and it's called Neil Gow's Lament for the Death of His Second Wife.
First wife, not so much.
He wasn't supportive of it.
No,
First wives always get that.
Yeah.
Second wives, yeah, well.
Actually, last night there was somebody in the audience. Yes, an audience. I know. Unbelievable. Fantastic. A gentleman in the audience came up to Wendy afterwards and said that he was greeting. He was greeting
because he'd heard it played so much better.
Because that tune always makes people greet, particularly when it's played with the emotively on the cello, as it's meant to be now.
There you go. We off?
Yeah, we're off, all right.
Okay, I know that. Okay.
Nice with the bird song.
It's very.
I was just laughing there towards the last half of that because you can't see, but off screen a car came slowly driving down to the sort of little car park area just off the bottom of the lane here before it becomes the pedestrianised area that we cunningly snuck into here. And yeah, they were obviously looking for a spot to do a bit of, I don't know, canoodling or dogging or whatever. Canoeing maybe. Whatever they do down here, but they were like, oh no, look, there's some dick with a duck on his head.
Dick with a duck.
It's Donald Dick.
That's an infuriating album. A dick with a duck.
Dick with a duck on his head. And they were like, I go and find somewhere else. So ruin some young couple's day down in.
You could have played them some romantic music.
I know, you're going to get the tango out of the car rocking. Ruin some poor couple's day in Stockport.
Oh, never mind. They probably shouldn't have been together anyway. That's why they
Yeah,
came
they're
down
probably
here.
not meant to be there. Right, we've got time for one or two more. How about Clean Peas Stray?
Well,
That's got a good clean song.
it is a very good. Peas Stray, Clean Peas Stray, Clean Peas Straw. Stray's just straw. This is a song. Well, we were going to do it last night, but we ran out of time, which was maybe just as well. But to be honest, though, the audience did sing along with stuff, and it was really good, wasn't it? I mean, I didn't think they would because I thought
Excuse
maybe.
me, we're not allowed to mention that. I think that was illegal.
No, it wasn't. It's all right if they're
It's
sitting
all right.
down. Yeah.
Sorry for sitting down to sing in England. There you go, folks. Don't know what the rules are in Scotland. I don't think you're allowed to do that.
But you're allowed to sing along within your own sitting room, on your own.
Aye.
So if you fancy singing along with this, just to make me feel a wee bit more at home, because I'm sitting in a park with a man with a duck on his head. It's not my usual Sunday afternoon.
It's your duck.
So this is a wee song by Robert Tannehill about a woman who's, about a girl whose mother told her not to marry this man because he was too poor, and she wouldn't ever get anywhere, and she'd have to sleep on a bed of straw. But in the end, she's not bothered. She's not worried about the money because she's just worried about, like the couple in the car, true love. When John and I were married, our cotton was but small. How many can't Carlin would be as much trouble? I want my feel but can you pay as far as the day? But we have water round the red was in we working late and early, we come to what you see. But fortune came beneath our hands, see even the finery. The wonder of the way the should find say. Behind your captainity, my queen is stray. The right and right and diddle day, the right and diddle day, the right and right and diddle diddle die dum day. The rose gay on Tenebray as wheels and Birkinshaw, and Loughlin low and Cottage low as wheels and Lofty Hall. So Lassie tack the ladder like whatever you really say, or you should match your time to lay the queen to stay. The right and right and diddle die, the right and diddle day, the right and right and diddle diddle die dum day, the right and right and diddle die, the right and diddle day, the right and right and diddle diddle die dum day.
Great stuff.
Hope you were singing along.
Well, I think we've got time. I'm going to use my Fitbit for the watch because my watch popped off my hand somewhere in Shropshire, and I've not got time to go back down to Shropshire and look for it. So yeah, we've got just enough time, according to the Fitbit, the fat bit. You're very fat today. The Fitbit tells us we have time for one more set. And you know what? Just for a change, I'm going to ask Wendy to do one of hers.
I'm knackered, honestly. Here we go. I won't do a big intro. This is a set I wrote for a play by Wee Stories called Tam O'Shanter. You'll all know Tam O'Shanter's story. Gets drunk, sees
This is
the
a Tam O'Shanter, by the way.
It's-
Not a lot of people realise that. Yeah.
Mallard O'Shanter. I don't know. Anyway,
Dick O'Shanter. Duck
Duck.
O'Shanter.
anyway, he gets drunk, goes to see his thinks he sees a Cayley in the empty church, calls out, "Well done, Cutty Sark," to the witch with the short shirt on. They all chase him, pull the tail out of his horse. He goes home and tells his wife this story, probably as an excuse for being drunk, and she doesn't really believe him. So the first tune is Tam Swagger or Stagger, which is him getting a bit drunk. Second one is when you get a bit drunk and you love everybody and you get a bit maudlin and everybody's your pal. And the third one is the witch's dance, when he peeks through the window and sees a Cayley with the devil and the witches and the werewolves.
I just thought of a joke. Seriously, I just made this up. It's rubbish, but I'm going to say it anyway. What do you call the special hat worn by the captain of the Starship Enterprise?
Well, come on.
Tam O'Shattner.
Can we tell the one about the ladies' underwear?
Aye, go for it.
Well, William Shatner was going to design a range of ladies' underwear, but Shatner pants never
On that bombshell, we end another episode of Sandy and Sunday. Here we go.
Is this I'm drunk, by the way?
Appropriate for this bench. Lots of drunk people on this bench normally think.
Just finishing. Is that okay?
Take a picture, yeah?
Yeah, sure.
was a guy pulled up in a car.
I thought it was the
screeched
police.
to a
I thought it
halt,
was the police.
got out, started talking to us, going, "Rah, rah, rah, I live here, rah, rah, rah." And actually, he was just wanting to take a photo, and then he came over to try and talk to us as we're still playing it just after that, and then realised that the phone was a little camera there. And went, oh, got back into his car and reversed and sped off. You know what it was?
He said his wife was self-isolating. And he wanted to take a photo, but she hadn't been self-isolating before we started.
Right, she was suddenly self-isolating. Well, I think it was actually a fan of the show who had, as soon as the show started, went, Stockport, they're somewhere in Stockport. And he's gone out in the car and he's gone, I recognise that Dell, and he's found us, so well done you.
Well done, that man.
It's like a treasure hunt. See if you can find us next week. I'll give you a clue, it'll probably be more fun in the living room again. Anyway, that's it, folks. That was great. Thank you very much to Wendy Weatherby, today's special guest, probably the most frequent visitor on the show. This week she handled pretty much the whole show herself with a little tiny bit of help from a man in a duck hat. Anyway, we're going to say farewell, and hopefully we won't die in a horrible car crash on the way back to Edinburgh, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Right, Wendy, I think I better take this dog.
Yeah.
I better take this dog for a walk before we
yeah,
get another 3 hours in the car. Because you know what he's like, he just goes piddle, whittle, whittle.
Oh, poor wee thing. He was well behaved today, though.
Very good. I'm not sure what the state was inside you like with that horrible,
I know.
boggy leg down there.
It was a shame.
Come on, show yourself. Did I leave that on? No, it's okay, I didn't. Oh God, it did! Oh no, not again!